Greetings and welcome back to episode 8 of Exo Plays Toy Story 2 on the Nintendo 64. I can't remember what this console is called, everyone. I just can't remember. Anyways, last episode we started off the last normal stage of the game, that being Tarmac Trouble, which has an excellent theme song, if I do say so myself. Pretty much we're going through all the motions one last time, folks, and then it's final boss time. And we barely had any time to start out this level at all, so I don't know. I'm still expecting we're gonna finish this part a hair early. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, with credits and final thoughts and all that, it might end up taking just a little bit longer than, you know, than I prefer, but you know, whatever. It'll take as long as it takes, you know. You know, considering that I didn't do a practice playthrough of this game, I'm actually not doing half bad. There are a couple things I could have avoided, but you know, this one I've played so many times over the years that I had played it recently enough, like only like maybe 6 months before on the PSP, that I was pretty much good to go when this came around. Yeah. So, Tarmac Trouble, the big gimmick with this stage is obviously there's a giant airplane in the center of the stage that is spinning around hopelessly. I gotta go kill these snacks real quick. And there's something really satisfying about first-person targeting enemies, by the way. I don't quite know what it is, but I really do enjoy that. But what was I saying? Yeah, there's this giant plane in the center of the stage. That's where we'll find our ham later on, so I guess we'll have to keep that in mind. The best way to get up on top of the plane, there are a couple options actually, but I don't know. Really the best one is you can see there's a windsock in the center of the stage. That is the official term for what those things are called. Go get rid of Buck Bumble here. I keep calling him Buck Bumble. I really should be calling him Paul Bunyan. That's what I'm actually thinking, but I keep calling him Buck Bumble instead. There's an N64 game called Buck Bumble that supposedly had the first documented cases of dubstep in it, or you know, some of the first. Like, I believe there's a Secret of Mana boss theme that sounds like dubstep as well. That's like the Lick Lord or something. Some kind of skeleton boss that you fight. Yeah, actually use. See, like, the spin attack is only really useful for bosses, in my opinion. I always find that it's much faster to kill things with the laser, which is why I never bother with the spin attack for a normal attack, unless if it's like, you know, required. Which is why when I was a youngster fighting the Zerg boss for the first time, I forgot I had that ability, and it made it much harder because of it. But regardless, you know, I could really use one of those speed shoes, which barely got any use in this game at all. And it's like, I'm glad that they did bring them back for this level, because it makes it so much faster to get around and whatnot. So here we have this guy. Last ham token. Ooh, sorry. Sorry, allergies acting up again. And now, because of that, we can skip all the enemies because we don't need any more coins. Which will make things just a touch easier, in my opinion. Grab that guy right there. Let's see, here's Slinky.
Ah, Buzz, if you can reach the end of this path without jumping or touching the green slime, I'll give you a Pizza Planet token.
This is actually more challenging than you'd think it would be. So basically, we gotta... I might need to turn on active for this, but I don't know. We'll make do. We'll see what I can do without it. Basically, you just gotta run around on this path without touching the green ooze or jumping, and if you reach the end, you get a Pizza Planet token. Pretty self-explanatory, but this goes on for a little longer than you'd think, and you do kind of have to hurry, or you're probably not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So be careful with you know, take your time. You can do it as fast as I am if you've got the camera set up for it, but You know, it's kind of a risk versus do you want to get it done quicker, you know. You guys get the picture. Should be at the end, I think. Yeah, so that's a fun little mini game right there. Nice little mechanical challenge, just see how dexterous you are with the control stick. It's just, there's no bullshit involved with that at all, so you know, it's good. It's fine. It's fine as what it is. Okay, so now that we've reached this flag in the center, or the, you know, from the windsock, we can jump over here onto the plane itself. I believe the plane has a piece of luggage. The plane itself has a piece of luggage. We are also going to need to use the plane itself to access the other platforms surrounding the stage. We'll start with this one. They've brought back that stupid switch puzzle that I hated so much, an elevator hop. So we gotta go figure out how we're gonna turn on all of these. I believe there's a Rex. There actually isn't a Rex box that explains it. I don't know, maybe I accidentally. So you have to, in 3 presses of the switch, you have to figure out a way to turn them all on. Let's see. Oh, I've got to match the top to the bottom, I think. Oh, I know what we need to do. We'll do that one, and then we'll do this one. There we go. I actually figured that out much quicker than I thought I would, so I'm proud of myself. And go up there and grab that, if I can avoid doing the stop move. That's as actively against what I want to do. Let's see, the token should be right over here. I'll nab that real quick. And just in time for the plane to miss us. Which is, you know, are always not my favorite thing. Oh well, at least we can just go back to the windsock, and then that's like, oh, they bothered to animate the wheel turning. I'm actually kind of surprised. There might even have been a bit of product placement there, because I could have swore that said Goodyear, or maybe they went for the obvious pun and said Lightyear instead. Oh, come on with this. Are they gonna make me go? I'm gonna miss my flight at this rate. You can see that there's a conveyor belt over there. That conveyor belt has one of the luggage on it. I'm probably just barely gonna get there, or not. I'm gonna miss it entirely. Ugh. I get to sit around and wait for the stupid plane to spin around a few more times. There might be a bit of luggage up there. There is. So I'll take it. And then the time it takes for me to climb up and get back on the wing and go all the way around. It says bad year. Okay, so they went for a pun, but they didn't go for the pun I thought they were gonna go for. I'll take it. It's cute. And so it's one of those little details about this game that I didn't notice before, so that's always swell. Oh, fuck. This is not the time to get finicky, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. You need to get over to that luggage, or it's too late. Looks like I should be able to make it this time. No, I'm just barely gonna make this one. Yeah, so if there is something I hate about this level, that does feel like, I don't know, the plane feels like it moves just a little bit too fast, but it's like at the same time, if they made it slower, then you'd be sitting around waiting a bunch. Which it always kind of feels like I'm doing anyway, so I don't know, it's kind of, you can't win with this one, unfortunately. And I digress. It should be able to jump up there in a minute. Oh, you can see the mip mapping. Oh my god. They really should have programmed that better. I'm pretty sure the mip mapping is about the same in every version of the game, but you know, that's pretty obvious. I would not want my finished product to look like that, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so now all we gotta do is... Oh my god, that mip mapping is I mean, look at that. Look at the bottom left corner of the screen. Like, I feel like the N64 can do better than that, folks. There we go. At least there isn't too much dithering on this game. Alright, so here we have the boss.
Defeat the blacksmith boss to get a pizza planet token.
And this guy's another war of attrition, because there's not really a strategy to defeat him. He will hit a sledgehammer against the ground and send out a wave after you. If the wave hits you, you obviously take damage, so you don't want to let that happen. And it does hurt, so you gotta be careful about that as well. And hit him again. And it does take surprisingly long for the wave to go away. And I usually do find that I take enough damage to die every time I fight this guy, but it's just like I said, lives and health in this game don't really matter at all, because I always find that you just spawn right where you are with no real consequences. Like, it is possible to get a game over in this game, but I've never had that happen ever. But I digress. We're still missing a luggage. I just missed my flight just now. Now I get to go figure out where the luggage is, and that could take longer than I'd like. I'm gonna guess it's in the corner I'm facing, because that's the one place I haven't really looked yet. That's what I'm gonna guess. It's just, seriously, when they mapped this, they could find a way. They could find some other way to model it. I don't really understand. They couldn't find some other way to draw the maps themselves. That's literally all we need, I think, is the one last luggage, because we got everything else, I'm pretty sure. I don't see a platform we could stand on over there by the 3. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, it must be down somewhere. So I can't think of anywhere else it would be, so it's gotta be in one of these corners, maybe. It's gotta be on the lower level, is what I'm thinking. Like maybe over there? By that 3? No, that's where we gotta drop them off later. We got the one in the buggy, so it can't be in there. And just saying the word buggy reminded me of the episode of Drake and Josh, where Drake wants to get a dune buggy because they're 15, they're not quite 16 yet, but they want to drive. And a dune buggy is technically not a car, so they could. I'm pretty sure those aren't street legal, not regal. Jesus Christ! I'm like a regular Rich Evans slurring my speech. But they want. There's my green laser. I guess they get to enjoy it just a little bit longer. Come on, where's the luggage? It's like, where else could it possibly be? I have no idea. Found one on the plane, we found one on the ledge, we got the one up in the green conveyor belt. So, where is it? We should have all of them at this point, I think. Gotta be over here, I think. Alright, I have no idea where it is. This is where you find ham. Alright, I'm gonna go look it up, because I don't feel like finding this myself. Okay, apparently it's in Zone 4, which is what I was thinking, but I didn't see it. Which should be over there. So it's in the corner somewhere around this area. Yeah, see, the bad draw distance is what is the problem. Like I said, the draw distance is this bad in every version of the game. I don't remember it being any better in the Dreamcast or PC versions, especially, where you'd think, you know, the better hardware would, you know, make a difference there, but no, actually. So we have all 5. We'll go talk to this guy, give him the luggage real quick.
Thank you for finding my luggage, Buzz. Here's a Pizza Planet token.
Alright, and then I think that should be the last one. Let's see if we... yeah, Rex should be over there in the buggy, so we'll go over there. Get to enjoy that amazing sound effect one last time. There's Rex.
Wow! You got all the tokens!
Alright, we're done with this level. Forever. And we're pretty much done with the game, too. We basically just got the final boss now, and then we're done for good. It's done like dinner. Unfortunately, we have to sit through the very slow saving screen. And yeah, nothing we can do about that. There we go. You've collected all 50 tokens, folks. And yes, that is all you get. I don't know if there's some kind of special reward in the other versions. It's probably a shitty cutscene, if I remember correctly. It's probably just another FMV. So it's just pretty much the same as that little screen. At least we get some acknowledgement. I'll take that. What I care about the most is whether the journey itself is fun, and yeah, I'd say it is in Toy Story 2. Alright, Prospector Showdown, here we come. Now if they can get the Prospector out of the way, the toys can make it home before Andy returns. That Woody model looks amazing. Probably the best character model I've ever seen. So yes, as you can see, the final boss is just the Gunslinger, the Blacksmith, and the Prospector all together. And they are pretty much the same deal as they were before. And, you know, really, there's no real good strategy for this. Just spin them until they all die, and then... And like I said, you should have enough lives that you could basically just tank everything. Which is not good final boss. Like, this wouldn't be a good final boss anyway, because who wants to fight 3 mini-bosses all at the same time and call that a final boss? These characters weren't even in the movie, for God's sake. But... It's like, I would have much rather had, like, a unique final boss. Like, maybe... I don't know, make, like, a platforming section where you gotta get through the plane while the Prospector is attacking you or something. They could have done that instead, and it looks like I managed to phase the Blacksmith through the car. Or the luggage suitcase. I'm not really sure I'm gonna be able to fight him now, because I don't think he's vulnerable to lasers. Like, at a certain point that all the bosses just become only vulnerable to the spin move. And this is pretty much all you can do is just spin and wait till they die. Come on, Blacksmith, get over. Alright, looks like you can't actually get him to move after all. And then you should be almost dead now. There we go. I actually beat that without dying, I think. Boss defeated. And we're gonna go through this again. Really should be cutting these out, I think. I might end up doing that, or at least speeding them up. Yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have beaten Toy Story 2. We have collected all 50 tokens. We have brought the toy safely back home. Buzz Lightyear, Woody, and the rest of the gang make it safely back to Andy's house. And like I said, here's the first level theme playing here. Woody and Buzz promise to remain best friends for infinity and beyond. And so yeah, that's it. We've reached the credits now. So that, my friends, was Toy Story 2 on N64. An excellent game, if I do say so myself. I don't know, maybe excellent's not the right word, but it is a very well-made video game, especially for a third-party game on N64, especially for a licensed game on N64. Really excellent level design across the board, like, really surprising. like the remix of this track isn't the best, obviously, but you know, still, it is the same song. It's not missing, it just doesn't play in the first level. But like I was saying, you know, usually I do find that doing these playthroughs gives me a better appreciation for the games that I play. You know, and sometimes it means that I'm more critical. I mean, it makes me more critical, which means I'm thinking more about it, which means that I see the good better and I see the bad better. And in the case of Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, but I think what I really learned from this playthrough was just how well done the level design is on the whole. Like, I've been saying a million times throughout the playthrough, they really nailed that feeling, the proportions of being a toy in these real-life human environments, and making them interesting to run around in that proportion, like climbing up a construction site, wandering around a neighborhood, going through a toy store, climbing up air vents, going through a penthouse apartment, and, you know, rumbling around in an airport. Like, not only were all of those levels directly drawn from the movie, but they were really interesting to explore because of, you know, the toy proportions, and that's really fun. The soundtrack is really well done, whether it's Red Book Audio, which is obviously the better way to go in my opinion, but the N64's tracks aren't half bad, honestly. I really don't think that they're that bad. I feel like people don't give them enough credit. The overall control just feel a little slippery, I guess, and sometimes I can't seem to grab ledges even though I'm right in front of them, but you know, other than that, good level design, good overall mechanics, it's a genuinely great title. Do I think it's the best collectathon I've ever played? No, and even for all the criticisms I've levied at Spyro 2, I still think that that's the better game on the whole. Like, see, they spelled Earl Bone wrong, but, you know, still, they did actually get a lot of the movie voice actors to come back for this, but I guess Wallace Shawn didn't want to appear in this game. But yeah, what was I saying? I do think Spyro 2, even though I criticized it and called it the weakest in the Spyro trilogy, I still think for my money that that's the better game to play, honestly. And you know, as long as I am criticizing the story in that game, there's really no explained reason why you need Pizza Planet tokens in this game at all. I mean, that wasn't in the movie, and it really just seems completely arbitrary. And you know, while I do think that the slideshow approach tells the story fairly well, and really does a good job linking individual levels to the film that it's based on, in terms of, I guess it's kind of the problem with the sandbox approach of collectathon games is, you know, if this were like a linear level-based platformer where the goal is just to get to the end, that would have worked better with the story, honestly. And just because of the way that collectathons work and the sandbox approach, it just kind of ended up this way. But you know, what really does save it for me in the end is the gameplay. I really enjoyed playing through all these levels. I really enjoyed doing all the mini games and talking to all of my favorite Toy Story characters and all that. And that ultimately surpasses. You know, it's obviously, I would have preferred it if they could have maybe offered a better explanation for why you need Pizza Planet tokens beyond we need something for you to collect in the levels. But even without that, it's still fine in my opinion. It's like I said, I have criticisms of Spyro 2's story, and I did point them out for that reason. But at the end of the day, the gameplay was solid in Spyro 2 for the most part, so that's why I still said it was an excellent game. And you know, I would have liked, I don't know, for a licensed game based on Toy Story 2, I am shocked that this game is as good as it is. So I'll take it, you know what I'm saying? This isn't from some high-profile developer, well, I suppose Traveler's Tales is, but, you know, still, they put way more effort into this game than anybody ever should. And for that, I think they deserve a pat in the back. The fact that this game is considered something of a hidden gem for the 5th generation is saying something. This game is worth checking out. It's fun. I recommend it. If you have never played it before, I say check out the N64 or PlayStation versions of this game. Those are the best versions to own. Dreamcast has issues with the analog stick and all of that. And the PC version, you need a special patch to get it to work, and even then the Zerg boss is unfightable, and there are a whole bunch of other performance issues. The N64 version is probably the one that I'm most likely to replay. But the PlayStation one does have its own advantages, and I would understand why some might prefer that instead. But regardless, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all guys all enjoyed the playthrough. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As for what comes next in the Tuesday-Thursday slot, you might expect to see a new console represented. And you might expect to see a co-commentator on this next playthrough. This should be a really interesting one, folks. I hope you guys will stay tuned for Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, because I finally got one of those godforsaken boxes that I wanted. So I'll be able to record that in high quality on my OSSC, and I'm bringing along my friend Ryan, Rule, the Ryan Sucks at Video Games, from the Unversecast to co-commentate with me, which should be fun, because he loves the game. I think it's his favorite platformer, and obviously I prefer Adventure 2, as you guys will know, so figured it was only fair to bring along someone who really liked the game if I was gonna do a playthrough, and he's one of my closest online friends, so should be fun. Join me next time for that playthrough, and I'll see you guys then.